Story selling is really important for marketers to be incorporating into how they're positioning their brand in the online space, because it provides the authenticity, the honesty, and the personal voice that underlies much of what's already successful on the web. So incorporating stories and story selling in your content marketing is more important than ever. And what's the foundation of stories? Content. And that's why content is king. That's not a new thing either. Back in the 80s, Bill Gates actually said, "Content is where I expect much of the real money to be made on the internet, just as it was in broadcasting." Now, he was talking about the television industry at that time, but as we know, times have changed, and it's not just television that's the medium that people are looking every day. In fact, there's 231 million emails sent every minute, 5.9 million Google searches, and 66,000 new photos uploaded on Instagram. That's an incredible amount of content that's being created, captured, copied, and consumed all across the world. The other problem with that, though, is that that's a lot of noise. That's a lot of content for people to have to get through every single day. And so we have to think about, how do we cut through some of that? And where are people actually starting to look or beginning to look? If content is king, then context is queen. And what is context? Well, we know that content is basically the foundation that you're laying for the stories that you're telling. But it's where you tell those stories and who's listening to those stories or seeing those stories that's also important. And that's the context, that's the where. We know that Australians spend a lot of time on the internet every single day. And they're not just using one screen or mobile devices, which has an increase in use, but they're actually using a multitude of devices. Thinking about how our content is delivered is going to be more important than ever. So if content is king and context is queen, there's one thing that you must keep doing, and that's consistency. Consistency is key. Consistency is important because the buyer journey is long, and we need to not necessarily think about only getting them at one point at the start or in the middle or at the end of a journey, but all the way through that entire journey, and sometimes even past where you think that that journey might end. And that's why having consistent, relevant content that's delivered to them across different channels where they might be looking, where they might be seeing, is more important than ever. The digital landscape is busy, changing, and has more information than ever. Remember, content is king, context is queen, and consistency is key. To see how you can thrive in changing market conditions, watch my full presentation.